Hi, sweet souls. Welcome back to my channel, Destiny Moon Tarot, and welcome to today's collective reading. I was just feeling very drawn to doing a collective reading today, so this is a message for everybody who's tuning in. There are no groups for you to pick from, and the topic of today's reading is just what you need to hear right now. Okay, because I just feel like there's a lot going on right now in everyone's lives, and it feels like there's a lot of chaos, but there's also a lot of things that's going right. So I just wanted to do like a general collective reading for everyone, just to let them know what spirit or what the universe wants you to hear right now or wants you to know right now. So all you have to do is sit back and relax while I get you the messages in today's reading. So let's start off with a set of oracle cards that are going to tell me what you need to hear today. What does the collective need to hear today, please, cards? What does the collective need to hear today? Okay. So we have fortune here. Abundance, prosperity, and good fortune make their way to me. Okay, so what I'm picking up from this card is just that if you're feeling a little bit disheartened, if you're feeling like you've been working towards your goals for quite some time now and you aren't really seeing the end of it, or you aren't really seeing the results for it, the message here is to not give up hope, because abundance and prosperity and good fortune are on their way to you. Okay, so this could be something that just requires you to take a little bit more action and just like continue to take action and not give up, because this seems like one of those things that will come to fruition just when you feel like you've given up hope, or just when you feel like you can't do this anymore or you can't take this anymore, is when you're going to see this change in fortune. So yeah, I think the message here is to not give up hope, and also to not stop doing what you're already doing. So like the action that you're putting in, I feel like what you're doing is enough. What you're doing is the correct thing to do. You're on the right path, and there's no changes as of now that I can see you having to make. It just is a matter of not giving up hope and just believing that this thing is going to make its way to you, because it's on the cards for you. It just might be taking a little bit longer than you thought it would take. Yeah, so yeah, the first message here is to not give up hope and to also not stop working towards your goals. Let's see what else the universe wants you to hear right now. So we have compassion and we have self love. Okay, now both of these cards like correlate really well with each other. I just feel like yeah, and the bottom deck energy is trust. So yeah, all of these three things together, you just have to have hope, you just have to have trust in your own self, in your own capabilities, and also in a higher power. Okay, just knowing that um this outcome is not really in your hands. You don't know what the outcome is going to be, so you might as well be positive about it, right? You might as well be optimistic about it. You might as well trust that whatever it is that you're working for is actually going to come to fruition for you, right? It's the little things. It's like, instead of saying, oh, I'm just never going to find my soulmate, you don't know that. You don't know if by some serendipitous moment you are going to bump into your soulmate, and it's going to feel very natural and very divinely timed. You don't know if that's going to happen, and since you don't know what's going to happen in your future, especially over things that you don't have control over, it's best to just trust the process and also be positive and have like a positive outlook on what could happen in your life. Because I think somewhere these things also become like self-fulfilling prophecies, like the way that we speak to ourselves, the way that we um, shape our beliefs, I feel like they really do become self-fulfilling prophecies. So if we constantly think that, we're never going to find our soulmate, then we indeed will never find our soulmate. But if we think, no, I am putting in the work and I am going to be successful and I'm going to have a really good career, then that's gonna start you're gonna start seeing that happening in your life. Okay, now whether you call that confirmation bias or whether you want to just believe in affirmations, that's up to you. Whether you want to go down like the spiritual woo woo path or like the scientific more practical part. But the idea is to just have like a positive outlook on life and to trust in not just your own capabilities but also in a higher power. And while you're doing that, it's very important to love yourself. And I know this sounds so cliche because I feel like the word self love has been used and abused so much that people are almost sick of it. But no, I mean it's such a basic principle that we must follow in our life. Like we have to love ourselves. Okay, and it's not even about loving ourselves so that other people know how to love us, or loving ourselves so that we can love someone else, or loving ourselves because we don't lack anything. No, it's a basic human need, right? Feeling loved, feeling wanted, feeling um accepted, and having like a feeling of belonging. These are basic human rights. And unfortunately sometimes we don't experience that with everyone we meet in the world. So why should we be mean to ourselves? Let's just be kinder to ourselves. And that's the whole idea of self love, to be compassionate towards ourselves and love ourselves for no other reason except to just experience love. Like that's the only purpose, like extend the kind of compassion that we show to others to ourselves. Like when we see a little kid, we would never be mean to that kid, right? So like why are we so mean to our own inner child? Right, when we meet someone, we want to be kind to them, we want to be nice to them. So why are we not kind and nice to ourselves, right? So yeah, I think the message here is to just be kind to yourself, to show yourself grace, to have compassion for yourself, because it it just helps you accept yourself, right? Like when you show compassion towards yourself, you learn so much about yourself. It makes you more self-aware, it makes you more accepting of yourself, because you see yourself for who you actually are, flaws and all. And also when you know what your flaws are but also what your strengths are, you can't help but love yourself, right? Like yeah, like when you just see that you are a nice person, which we all are. I mean, I personally believe that we're all nice, and sometimes we make mistakes and sometimes we act out of character because we're acting from a place of fear, or we're acting from a place of like past wounds or something, that haven't healed yet. But at the end of the day, all we want is to love others and to also love ourselves, because at the end of the day, we are all really kind and we are caring and we are understanding, and we just want love, and we just want ease in our life, and we just want to have fun and live our best lives, right? And one of the ways in which we can do that is if we are kind to ourselves, if we are good to ourselves, if we accept ourselves, it becomes easier for us to accept other people and be kind to other people and care about other people. If we love ourselves, it just becomes easier for us to extend that love to other people, because we know what that looks like. We know what self acceptance looks like. We know what loving ourselves or loving looks like, loving energy looks like. And when we know what it looks like, what it feels like, it's easier for us to extend that to others, right? But at the moment, this is like almost a very selfish kind of a thing. So, like I was saying, this isn't even self love for you to practice so that you can learn how to love other people better. No, I think the main focus here is just being kind to yourself and loving yourself, and self love involves so many things. It involves healing your inner child, letting your inner child express themselves, being kind from within, being in a place where you can forgive yourself, and that forgiveness can sort of kickstart so much of change from the inside out, right? When we change ourselves on the inside, when we heal on the inside, we start seeing changes of those things happening on the outside, right? Like it changes the way we view the world, it changes the way we view ourselves, it changes the way we um, look at love, or look at other people, or look at just life in general, right? So the message here is to just have faith, have patience, believe in yourself, be kind to yourself, and love yourself. Okay, that is the message that's coming through up until now. And I know, I know this sounds very cliche, but like maybe that's exactly what you needed to hear, guys. Like I think as a collective, sometimes we forget the most basic things, because we, I guess, overcomplicate our own lives by overthinking, overanalyzing, intellectualizing everything, intellectualizing our feelings as well. Instead of just feeling them, instead of just sitting with our feelings and let them pass through us, we try to over intellectualize them so much. So yeah, as much as this message sounds cliche, maybe that's exactly what we needed to hear right now. Sometimes it's the simplest messages that make the biggest impact on our day, on our mood, on our lives. So yeah, that's basically, those are the messages that are coming through. Next up, we have the snake, and we have the fish. Okay. um Interesting that both of these cards have come out. There is a very specific message about the company that we keep. Okay. Because I feel like the snake being, very literally, we call people snakes, people who backstab us, betray us, like, yeah, just yeah, shady people, I guess, for lack of a better word, is who we call snakes. So yeah, there might be someone around you that is maybe pretending to be your friend or pretending to be a well wisher, but is actually a snake. Now this might be just like one or two people in like your whole inner circle, or this might be your whole inner circle as well, just like, because maybe, um okay, so there's two possibilities. Like maybe someone's actually acting malicious intentionally, they don't want to see you succeed, they're jealous of you, whatever, so they, on purpose try to pull you down, bring you down, kick you while you're already down. There are people like that. So take it how it resonates, this is a general reading. So maybe it's one of that situation, but maybe, sometimes what happens is that we outgrow people, when we like the more self accepting we get, the more understanding we get, like the more we dig within and like heal our wounds and work on ourselves, the more we kind of outgrow not just the situations that we're in, not just the mindsets that we have, but also the people that we hang around with. Okay, so this might be someone who you knew at a different point in your life, when you were a completely different person before you did all of this inner healing. And now that you are doing this inner healing, maybe you're realizing that you're outgrowing this person. Okay, so this person still wants to be in a negative mindset, or they still want to indulge in, habits that you don't want to indulge in anymore, or maybe they still want to live a lifestyle that you don't really want to live anymore. Maybe they have a mindset that you have kind of outgrown. and because of that, they feel like they're missing out on a friend, they feel like you are leaving them behind. So maybe they say something to hurt you, maybe they say something that is going to like, it feels like a good friend or someone who wishes well for you wouldn't say something like that, right? Or this could also be a situation where maybe someone around you is succeeding in a way that you are not succeeding yet, but this person is seeing that as an ego boost, and they are kind of feeling superior to you and trying to make you feel inferior. Okay, so just an example of this is, say, you're the only single person in your whole friend group. Okay, everyone else is either in a relationship or they're in, whether they're engaged, they're married, they're moving forward in life, they're buying homes with their partners, they're having children with their husbands and wives or whatever, and it just seems like you are the only single person in the group. But they are somehow making you feel bad about your singleness, or maybe they're trying to uh maybe just like looking at you makes them feel more superior because they feel like they have moved on in life. So I mean, this could be something quite like intentionally that they're doing. Maybe they're unhappy in their marriage and they see you being happily single, but they can't really fight with their spouse. They can't really say anything to their spouse because that might escalate, and it might escalate to a point where they no longer have that relationship. And I mean, there are still pockets of society where things like separation, things like divorce are still very much taboo and still looked down upon, and still reflect badly more upon women than they do upon men. For some reason, a failed relationship, I say that in quotes, failed relationship is somehow the responsibility and like the accountability all falls on the woman. So maybe under all of that pressure they're crumbling and they can't really let their relationship get to that level, which is why they try to project on you and try to make it look like they're much happier than you. And that's because they're married and you're still single, right? Or this could just be like just a subconscious thing that someone is doing. Okay, so like, just as a society, I feel like we make uh, having a relationship or being in a marriage sound like such a achievement, especially for women, that sometimes subconsciously this person might be feeling superior to you because they feel like, in the eyes of society I am doing so much better than this person is. So maybe I need to rub it in her face, or maybe that's something that I need to celebrate, and like that's something that is an achievement, so I should be talking about it, right? So like, maybe this person is being a snake unintentionally, but maybe this person is being a snake intentionally. But whatever the reason here is, I feel like um what you need to do is just honestly show compassion. Okay, because this person might be lacking self love, or might be just completely not at all self aware. And I know it hurts sometimes to be the bigger person, especially when you can very easily put someone in their place. But I think the message here is to just show compassion to this person and like forgive them for um their trespasses, I guess, and like forgive them for intentionally or unintentionally hurting you, and also just like letting that go, not internalizing what they are saying, and not internalizing that hurt to a point where it affects your day, it affects your mood, it affects the quality of your life, it affects the quality of your relationships. Okay, so like, yeah, that is a message that's coming through here. And another message that's coming through here is of the fish. I mean, the fish is the sign of abundance, especially the goldfish. It's the sign of like having it all. But honestly, this could also mean just like hanging out with like-minded people, because like the thing with like a fish bowl is that you would never put a goldfish and say a baby shark in the same um fish bowl, right? Especially like if like you want both of them to coexist, you would probably put them in two different tanks, right? So yeah, that could be like a very obvious message here, to like hang out with like-minded people. um Sorry guys, I just had to cough. Felt like I choked on just air. Yeah, so that could be a message as well. If you feel like you're suffocating in your relationships, you're feeling like within yourself you're quite content, but like when other people are saying something to you, it gets to you. Sometimes it's best to distance yourself. Sometimes it is difficult to be the bigger person. Sometimes it takes a lot of conscious effort and energy to shut yourself up and like not say the mean thing, to just put a bitch in her place. um so yeah, I mean, if you're finding that hard to do, but you're also seeing that it's affecting your life, you don't have to continue putting up with this kind of behavior. You can go out and find either people that you get along with and like hang out with them. So like either having other single friends, or hanging out with other people who maybe align with the mindset that you have now, or considering that this fish is all alone in the fishbowl, just being comfortable in your own company. Yeah, I mean, we are conditioned to live in a society. We are conditioned to sort of live in a community and like not really live on our own. But if at the moment we're not able to find someone that aligns with us, then what's the harm in being a lone wolf once in a while? What's the harm in being a hermit crab once in a while, right? So like, at least for a while, if you want to distance yourself from people and just be on your own, figure out how who you are and how you can nurture yourself and become a little bit more um, independent, become a little bit more self aware. Maybe then you can reintroduce yourself into society, or maybe then you'll find it easier to deal with these people if you don't want to cut them off. Or sometimes just being on your own, like you'd rather, like wouldn't you rather be single than be in a toxic relationship, or be in a relationship where you have to beg someone for the bare minimum? So yeah, that same thing applies for your relationships that are not romantic as well. The same thing applies for familial relationships, for platonic relationships, for friendships. So yeah, that's what I can see here. Okay, so on that note, I think let's just get your tarot cards now. I'm going to be live shuffling the Real Talk Tarot to get some more information about what it is that you need to hear right now. Okay, so like, let's see what you need to hear right now. So we have the Eight of Wands, which is, I mean, I'm not surprised that this has come right below the Snake card. Okay, let's get into, I mean, and the Hermit. Wasn't I just saying that you need to be comfortable being the Hermit? So yeah, that's self-explanatory. We have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. Mm, we have the King of Swords, right? And I just want one last card. Strength. Right. This makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, bottom deck energy is the Page of Wands. Right. Now, beginning with the Hermit and the Eight of Wands, I feel like this is quite self explanatory. the Eight of Wands being right below the snake card, I mean, this could literally mean that, there are some connections in your life, there are some snakes in your life that you have to cut out of your life. Okay. This is a very interesting message that I'm picking up on. So, like, I have a relative who basically had like a pet snake. I think they had like a pet python, if I'm not mistaken. And basically, they got the python when it was like a baby snake, right? And what they would do is, like, sometimes they would just like let it slither, all around their house, like wherever the snake wanted to go, they would just let it go. Sometimes they would even let the snake sleep with them in the same bed. And what they started realizing is that, one, like, it the snake got to a age where, sometimes it would just, like, how snakes, like, even when they're sleeping, when they're like slithering around, they have that S sort of a shape, like this is the shape of a snake. But what they started noticing, like what my relative started noticing, was that sometimes when they were laying in bed, the snake would slither into bed with them and just like align itself in a straight line. And so, they thought that's just different, that's something that the snake has never really done before. So they went to the vet and they were like, look, this is what my snake is doing, what does that mean, is my snake okay? And the vet literally told them that, it is now time for them to let the snake go out into the wilderness, and just like, it's not safe for that snake to live with them anymore, because essentially what that snake was doing was measuring itself while lying next to, my relative. And basically what the vet said was like, the minute they realized that your like, you are like, they are bigger than you, they will literally swallow you whole. And I don't know whether like that's even possible, or like what, because like this is a story that the relative tells us. I have never really seen this snake, so I don't know if that even happened, or like what it was, and like if that was the exact detail, if that was even the type of snake that, they claim it was. So yeah, but like, that's like an interesting story that just came to my mind looking at the snake. And I'm really sorry if anyone hearing this is like scared of snakes, because I have said snake so many times. I'm really, really sorry. I mean, I'm pretty sure if I was triggering anyone, you have probably like already like logged out of this reading. You're not watching this reading anymore. But the message that I can get from that story is basically, to just cut your losses. Okay. You might have been invested in this relationship or this connection might have been very long, like, this might have been a person that you have known your whole life, or you have been friends with this person for the past, say, 10 years, 12 years. But if it's no longer serving you, if they're literally out there to like consume your energy, consume you to a point where they think that they're better than you, where they would literally destroy your mental peace for their own sake, I think it's best to um cut this kind of situation out of your life. Okay, because sometimes, like I said, that we don't control what's going to happen in our future. And yes, this could just be your paranoia talking, if like, oh my god, this is not a good friend anymore, or this friend is turning toxic. But like, sometimes it's better to distance yourself before the friend turns toxic, if that makes sense. So like, sometimes being the bigger person means not having an opportunity to be the bigger person. not really giving this other person an opportunity where they can insult you or hurt you, and you have to show restraint, or you have to show that you're more mature or you're better than them because you're not attacking them. So sometimes it's best to just walk away. So this Eight of Wands energy, just like walk away from this connection and try to spend time on your own, try to spend time feeding yourself. And I mean, honestly, you don't even have to spend time on your own reading self-help books. Okay, like people make hanging out alone sound like, oh, it has to be productive. No, you can literally, like, you deserve days where you're just rotting in bed. You deserve days where you're literally just watching Netflix. You deserve days where you don't even pick up your phone and all you're doing is reading a book or listening to music. You deserve days like those. You deserve to have moments like those. Okay, so just because you're distancing yourself or just because you're cutting someone off doesn't mean you have to immediately have to start working on yourself, or immediately have to find other people. No, sometimes you can just enjoy your own company. Sometimes taking a break looks just like that, like taking a break. You're just sitting and like doing nothing. Okay, yeah, so that is what you're being encouraged to do right now. If there is something that you would like to focus on, like if you are someone who's like, no, I can't sit by myself, I can't, like just hang out by myself, I need to like do something to distract myself. Something that you can do to distract yourself is working on your coin. Honestly, like working on your money, working on work. Okay, channeling all of that energy, channeling all of your free time into being productive in terms of saving or investing or working, upgrading your skills, taking up online classes, joining classes. Honestly, yeah, so something where you maybe learn how to make money, or you learn how to become more valuable. So like you learn a skill that's valuable, or you do something that maybe requires you to spend some money, right? So like maybe going on a solo trip, or taking yourself out on dates. Yeah, so something of that sort is what you can do. And something else that you can do is also just work on your communication. First things first, with the King of Swords being right below self love, this is literally telling me that you need to learn how to communicate with yourself better. So this could look like saying more affirmations, listening to guided meditations, um learning to sit with your feelings, trying to articulate your feelings, journaling your feelings, just being able to label your feelings or identifying them. That is something that you can do. With the King of Swords, of course, I can also see just like reading. Okay, reading, whether that's fiction, non-fiction, doesn't even matter. Just like reading more is what I'm picking up on. Also, this could be like a message of like writing your own story. So like if you are an author or you like to write, just like writing stories, or if you have like stories or poems or something written, maybe like sharing that with the world. That is also something that's coming through for you here. Journaling is definitely something that will really help you, whether that's dream journaling, whether that's just like filling out morning pages. So like when you wake up in the morning and you remember your dream, the first thing you do is just like write down whatever details you remember of your dream. Or doing morning pages where you just open your book and you just write like whatever you're thinking. Don't think about grammar, don't think about making sense. Just like write whatever you're thinking, just like brain dump basically on a piece of paper or something of that sort. But this could also mean learning how to communicate with other people. So like learning how to set boundaries. So if these snakes for some reason are people that you cannot cut out of your life, or you cannot really distance yourself from them, because yeah, that also sometimes happens, right? Like sometimes there are like really toxic people in our life, or like people we don't get along with anymore, but we have to communicate with them, we have to coexist with them, maybe because we have children with them, or we live with them, or we see them every single day. Or sometimes it's just, it is difficult to cut out people from our lives completely, especially when we have also depended on them, or when we have also considered them our friends for whatever, for like 10 years, 11 years. It becomes difficult, and I get that. So if we can't do that, then maybe, like, just learning how to set better boundaries and being very firm in those boundaries. Okay. Setting boundaries doesn't mean that you just tell someone that this is my boundary. You also have to then call them out if they are um, disrespecting your boundaries, or you just have to make sure that your boundaries are not just heard but also respected, right? So yeah, maybe working on either like verbally setting boundaries with someone, or like, if we've already set boundaries and we still see that, people are just walking all over us, being a little bit more firm and assertive about what your boundaries are. That could be a message as well. And of course, strength here just shows me that you are required to have a lot of inner strength, and I know it takes a lot of strength to cut someone out of your life, or set boundaries. But at the same time, it's also really difficult to make sure that this person stays out of your life after you've cut them out. That requires strength as well, like strength to not go back to the things that hurt us. Or if we choose to be a solo fish in this fish tank of life, then that requires strength as well. That requires strength to not just jump into another relationship, or that requires strength to not lower our standards and just let anyone or anything come into our lives, right? Because we're missing being with someone, or there's like a void that we want to fill, right? So yeah, I mean, it does require a lot of strength. Everything that the universe or spirit wants you to know right now, I mean, all of this advice has been coming your way, and following even like a fourth of it requires a lot of strength. And like, there is a higher power that understands that and recognizes that, and so do I mean, yeah, I mean, absolutely, it takes strength. Like, these things are easier said than done, but yeah, there's just hope that you will be able to find the inner strength to stick to whatever it is that you feel is best for you, and to stay on the aligned path. And yeah, just finding the strength to find out, first of all, what it is that you want to do, and also to just, like, live your best life no matter how difficult that is. Because yeah, sometimes you living your best life looks like you're failing, or you're falling behind to society, to the people around you, and sometimes even to yourself. But yeah, just there's a lot of strength that is required for you to just not let it get to your head, and not let it discourage you, basically. And yeah, there's just like a message that you have this strength within you. And if you are already showing a lot of strength, then there is just this message of, like, you should just pat yourself on the back. If no one's congratulating you, if no one's telling you how strong and brave you are, tell yourself that you are being very strong and very brave. And there's also a message that you don't have to be this way for a very long time, because things are going to change, and abundance and prosperity are making their way to you. Let's get your final two cards before I end this reading. Let's just get some self-care activities that you can indulge in. Let's just see what you can do. So there's intuition. Where do I want to keep it here? Okay, so there's intuition and there is music. Okay. Um, huh. So the message here for you is to listen to your intuition. Let your intuition guide you. Okay. Yeah. Just if it feels right to you, do it. Okay, honestly, that is the message. So listening to your intuition, because your intuition will never guide you towards the wrong path. Okay, that is something that I have noticed personally for myself and also for people around me. When you listen to your intuition, when you listen to like that voice in your heart, that voice in your gut that's saying, trust me, just do this. Yeah, that's the voice that's guiding you to this fortune. That's the voice that's guiding you towards the path that you need to be on. So yeah, don't ignore your intuition. That is something that I'm picking up on here. um, yeah, this could also mean not giving people the benefit of doubt, not saying, oh, this person, they're a good friend to me overall, so what if they just make me feel bad about being single. If your intuition is saying but a good friend wouldn't do that or wouldn't say that to you, then I feel like the message here is that a lot of times, we get hurt or triggered by something, and we over intellectualize it, and we start thinking that our sensitivity is the problem. We are too sensitive, and if we just continue to be this sensitive, then we'll end up alone. We won't have any friends around us. But you know the thing is, every relationship, every connection, whether that's with someone else or with our own selves, is based on respect. Okay, and if someone doesn't respect you, like, there's a difference between someone pulling your leg, just for fun, and someone genuinely saying something that even they know is going to hurt you. But if they continue to say that, then that's not a mistake. That's not them not being able to read the room. Okay, even if it is, why would you want to surround yourself with someone that's immature? Yeah. So I feel like if your intuition says no, you're being too sensitive, I feel like no, don't be too hard on yourself by giving someone else the benefit of doubt. Okay, don't be too hard on yourself, and continue to put yourself in disrespectful situations because you feel like, oh, it's okay, I can be the bigger person, or okay, they are immature and they said something to me, but I don't have to stoop to their level and say something back, because an eye for an eye just makes the whole world blind, right? You don't have to constantly be the bigger person. So if your intuition is saying, listen, you are also their friend, but you don't make them feel bad about things in their life, so why are they doing this to me? Listen to that voice. Okay, listen to that niggling feeling inside of you. Okay, not everything is happening because you're too sensitive. Okay, your sensitivity isn't your weakness. Your sensitivity isn't something um that you have to work on because it's like a bad thing to have. No, having sensitivity is a very good thing. It's a good quality to have. So yeah, if someone is making you feel like you're too sensitive and you can't take a joke, but like your intuition is saying, no, but it did make me feel bad, but I didn't take it as a joke, it's not a joke to me, then listen to that intuition. Yeah. So that's the message that's coming through here. And on a lighter note, the message that's coming here is, listen to music. Listen to the kind of music that you enjoy. Whether it's music where you don't even understand the language, but the beat is so amazing that it makes you want to get up and dance. Listen to that kind of music. Listen to the kind of music where your the lyrics align with maybe the kind of relationship or maybe the kind of life that you're trying to manifest, right? Listen to music that uplifts you, listen to music that feels good when you listen to it. Okay. You don't really have to listen to what everyone else is listening to. You don't have to listen to rap music if you don't enjoy rap music just because it's cool. Okay, you enjoy the music that you want to listen to. Okay. That uplifts you, that makes you happy, that makes you want to get up and dance, or that makes you really, like, close your eyes and say, oh my god, that's beautiful. Like, if you hear a song and you just love the lyrics of that song, listen to music like that. Okay. Bring back music and joy into your life, right? So that is a message that's coming through for you guys. So these are the things that the universe or a higher power wanted you to hear right now. I think I'm going to end your reading on this note. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you heard what you needed to hear. I hope it resonated with you. If it did, please don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up. Leave me a nice comment below. Subscribe to my channel for more readings from me. It's free of cost and it helps me grow as a creator here on YouTube. It shows the YouTube algorithm that you like my videos and that my videos are enjoyable, so it's going to push my content to people who might also benefit from it. So yeah. And I will see you all in my next one. Bye guys.